Brothers, masturbation is sex with demons. Brothers, masturbation. Masturbation is sex with demonic beings. Yes, I'm here to tell you that. We have to go ahead and get this the truth out there. I'm the one to tell you. And this isn't just for men. This goes for women as well. But I really want to speak to the brothers and start with the men because men's sexual drive is stronger than women's. It can be. Some women can have a high sexual drive, but it's not, the higher sexual drive than men, but it's not natural. For the most part, it's going to be men who has the high sex drive. Now, we've been told all of our lives by the secular community and the government and social and media that masturbation is normal. We've been see, that's the lie you've been told. And who fed you that lie? This lying media. Who you got to go back and look, the CDC and all of these people, the people who make these, just come up with all these health guidelines. It's like, but we just came off of a pandemic where people were telling you that it was healthy for everyone to just put an unknown experimental vaccine into their body. They told you that, and people have passed away. So we all now people are skeptical about every single thing. So let's get into the lie you've been told about masturbation. A man don't have to spill his seed. Women, again, women aren't built like men, but you have some women who have a huge high sex drive, and they just have to have random sex with random men or random sex with random women. Women today have abandoned their natural use. And in the Bible, this is when it says when women abandon their natural use for men, that's when you know that the times are bad. Those times are worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. Like in Sodom and Gomorrah, those were only men it was many men in the town who were just burning in their lust for one another. They were all homosexuals. And God called that whole ordeal an abomination. With women, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai and had got the 10 Commandments, when he came down, women were down there it was men and women. Men were being homosexuals and women were. But Moses saw the women as being the homosexuality amongst women is when your society is just totally, it's pretty much going to be over. It's women start when it's a lot of women at capacity. Not saying when you just have the outliers here and there. No, when you have women in capacity become lesbians and things like that, that's when it's bad. Like, why? First of all, your society is having a lot of issues. Like, why are you? Because women aren't even geared like that. Women look for love and security and protection and things like that, companionship. They look for all those things. Like, they're not getting all of that in themselves. They do that when out of confusion and desperation and looking for, they try to just link up together because they just need in society. They think, they see the strength in the numbers. That's it. And then they end up getting confused and licking on each other and touching on each other and doing all that type of stuff that's unseemly, working that which is unseemly against the Lord. And you'll have, secular people who will try to push back against that. And I don't know how. It's no way you can push back against Christians who's telling you the word that God is totally against homosexuality. Like, there's no debate there. If you choose not to, and then you'll have secular people be like, well, that old book, that book there, you want to trust that to tell you what's good and what's not? Man, nature already tells you that. You know, if you were to have actual common sense and be genuine, nature will tell you that. But you know, people get confused. You know, things happen. People are sick on the earth. Some people don't comprehend things the same way, and that's why they need help. That happens all the time. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to give you the truth to set you free, man. You know, if you don't know what you're doing is wrong or don't have the truth, somebody don't give you some contrasting information, you just go about in your way and think everything is all hunky-dory. Masturbation. You know, the Bible, a lot of people say that, you know, that's not addressed at in the Bible. Oh, yes, it is. First of all, God already nips these things like in the bud to try to help you. God starts planting seeds to give you the ability to not even fall into these traps. And how does he do that? God tell you not to even lust after a woman, man. God tell you to flee youthful lust. Because a lot of the lust that men have is fire. It's very deep in your. It's like deep with ingrained in some men, man. Like, and it's the society. It could be, you know, but men are men, you know, and they see beautiful women and it's a powerful thing to them. So you need to get control of that. But it's stronger in your youth, man. You'll be able to get more control of that as you get older. And the thing is this society tries to play on that. Satan is in control, man. Satan is running. Ultimately, God's in control. But Satan has dominion on this earth. He's able to influence the masses. Like, Satan is the one who gives people this knowledge of influence and things like that. How you see systems that just go off like lock and key that affect a lot of people. Like, pornographic imagery and porn, that poisoned the minds of a generation. I'm serious. I don't care what. Porn ruined the lives of some people. Not only porn has ruined some people's lives, it's poisoned the minds of men and women. It's sexually charged a lot of men to think that sex was something that it wasn't. You understand? With men and women do the same thing. Women be watching. That's how a lot of women got into homosexuality, seeing other women on screen, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. That's not natural. It's not natural. You shouldn't be looking at grown women busting it loose for grown men, and when you 15, 14 years old, you shouldn't see that. But see, that's the lie that we live today. You know, the Bible addresses masturbation despite what any detractors may say. In the book of Leviticus 15, verse 1 through 18, it speaks directly to a man's emission of semen. Verse 13 through 15 state that the one who has been cleansed after the offense is to present either 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest as a sin offering to the Lord. These are things that are done to make atonement for sin. See, that the Bible does speak to the emission of semen. It says that you shouldn't spill your seed by masturbation. You just sitting there. A lot of those they just sitting there masturbating all day. Women masturbating all day. Some men get trapped into that. Some men, and I'm gonna get a lot deeper into this. I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm gonna get a lot deeper, and I want to take it step by step. So how does it be? We're going to start at the beginning. Once you start to formulate lust over in your heart, in your mind, like a lot of dudes see a woman, and when they look at women, they sexualize them. Soon as I'm talking about any woman they see, like that's the first thing they do. They're looking at their bottom, their breasts. And that happens over time. It doesn't just happen over, just immediately. Like, that man has been doing that. He does that when he's at the house. He's seeking that out in movies. He's seeking that out. He's seeking that out. He's cultivating the lust within him. And sometimes that can also have help with a spirit. Oh, yes. Sometimes that can have help with a spirit. The man can be, once he If he's a secular man, he's already under subjection to Satan. So Satan's going to be tempting him at all instances, and he'll never know it. So he has images, dreams that he's even having to where they just all sexual. I'm talking about some of the worst sexual stuff he's ever seen in his life. Like some of the worst sexual stuff you can imagine. It's the most depraved. He's seeing all type of images of beautiful women in his brain. He's getting implanted these images. He don't remember when he wakes up in the morning because he don't remember his dreams. He's not set free by the Holy Spirit. So he's not in tune in the Spirit. So he don't remember nothing. So subconsciously, everything's already there. He goes out into the world, he sees women, and Satan's already selling you the sex. He set it up on two fronts. He cultivates the suggestion, and then look all over social media. Even when you're not looking for some woman to thirst trap you or show you her body, you don't even have to be looking for it. It's solicited all over the internet. It's been solicited all over Billboard and movies and all over ads. And you saw this like porn companies before social media. You had huge stores that sold nothing but pornographic material. You could go in there and just buy a whole bunch of porn. You know, a lot of young men learn from sex. A lot of young men learn sex in their first experiences with sex by looking at porn, finding some of their older brother or uncle's porn stash. That's not how young men should have learned about sex, and they became that can do something to you where, you know, now you have an unhealthy view of sex. It can go into all types of sexual deviance until you get some clarity about that and get set free. Because you've been lied to your whole life. Everything that you've done, it's been a lie. Everything you saw, like even the sex you was watching, been a lie. That was just some two actors on there, you know, two people who were lost themselves. Because a lot of those young women actors, they didn't know what they was getting themselves into. By the time they 19, they had 100 movies under their belt. By the time a woman was 19, she didn't even do anything really and step off the porch of her life. She's 18. She was catapulted into porn, sleeping with grown men and things like that. A lot of women, if you speak to them today, they not happy with themselves. They didn't like what happened to them. They felt manipulated. That's if you listen to them today out of their own mouth. And if you look at the things today, they have such so many sites full of debauchery, people just willing, OnlyFans, people willing to just sell themselves for anything. And you know that again, that just sets up more men and to be alone, just masturbating and committing that sin against themselves. Masturbation, it says in Bible study tools, there's more to work here than just the robotic act. It's a covetous desire which falls outside of God's loving design. Masturbation is like a pressure cooker. Some pressure is released, but the water's still boiling. Anybody who knows, like, when it's no person present and you're sitting there doing that, you still have something within you that's unfulfilled, because it's like it's counterfeit what you're doing. You know, like I said, this is a perfect, I like that analogy there. It says some pressure. Yes, you release some pressure and it gives you that a small, short sense of relief. You know what I'm saying? But anybody who's been lost in the sin of immersed in the sin of porn and masturbation, they say it's like gratifying themselves to a corpse, using another person's image as means to an end. But the immersion, the more you do it, the immersion in the practice becomes an endless cycle of tension, relief, and guilt. It goes on and on. Those three things happen over and over and over. It's a cycle that completes itself every time you do it. There's no fulfillment in the act, unlike the one he gains from a godly and joyful marriage. Sex as God designed it is good. God did design that. Like the desire, everything is there. And to be honest, it's good in an honest relational act of love between husband and wife. That's the best. Those are the boundaries set by God. And masturbation is a selfish act that satisfies one's temporal sinful desires. Now, God intends sex to be between a man and a woman in a marriage. Not just because he said so, not just because he thinks it's a good idea. That's because those are the parameters for the act. That's how you can have the best sex. That's how you can have protected sex. That's how you can have sex that's actually blessed. You understand? Like to where you get it, everyone in the exchange is gaining. Not somebody just getting, basically assaulted and then the other person gratifying themselves and walking off like they just used you like you just use a washcloth. That's not how it's supposed to be. And then women start to feel resentful because of that. Men may feel, male prostitutes like gigolos and things like that. Yeah, a man will do that, but men don't really, for the most part, they feel they pride and emotions won't let them just go sell themselves for money, because that's a shameful thing. Selling your nakedness and your body for money. But now, let me go ahead and give you a couple of Bible verses. This is First Peter chapter 2, verse 11 says, abstain from the passions of the flesh. Galatians chapter 5, verse 19 through 21. Sexual immorality is a work of the flesh, and the one who partakes is liable to lack entry into the kingdom of God. Sexual immorality is a work of the flesh. Remember I said you start this within yourself. This is what, all of that starts within you. You start to cultivate these things. Again, for a lot of people, you have these images that are implanted in your head as well. And, but these come from open doors. Like they could be from generational curses, because Satan is not just, Satan doesn't tempt all people the same way. There's some people who don't struggle, with masturbation and sexual sin. That's not their thing. That's not what, they're susceptible to. But a lot of us do. And especially in this Western society, like porn has been pushed in all things. Pornographic imagery, all things. But now let me get into the deeper dangers of masturbation. Yes, there's a deeper danger of that. Remember I told you about the spirit. There are spirits that are behind these things. You don't even know. Like I said, a lot of people who are not saved, they don't even have a spiritual sense. So they don't even know what's going on in the spiritual realm. They still think dreams are just, they don't even know what they are. So, and they don't remember them either. They remember things like nightmares and stuff like that. But when you masturbate, you are literally masturbating to an image that is maintained by a demonic spirit. That's maintained in your mind, and then what's done on earth is done in heaven. So what does God mean by that? If you masturbating to images on the earth, what are you doing in the spirit realm? You understand? The spirit realm, those demons are creating the image. Like, as we all know that they can change form and shapeshift. They are creating the image of people that you're attracted to, and you're having sex with those demons as well. That's what you're doing in the spirit realm. That's how you're able to, that's how a person is able to have such a good imagination and be able to actually get aroused and climax off of no one else being there. This is the art of masturbation was taught by fallen angels themselves. This is just another one of the things, the forbidden practices that is taught by the fallen angels. If you look at people who practice occult magic and things like that, they'll tell you that when you spilling the seed like that and doing all that, that can open up portals. If you just look at people who study spirituality, it doesn't necessarily have to be Christian. They will tell you that masturbation and doing that and sex magic opens up portals. They'll tell you that. Why? Like, that's it's really a powerful thing. And it's a powerful thing when a man retains his seed, and he starts to change. I'm here to tell you, man, that there's hope for you. You can actually achieve that, where you're not just being just looking at all women as objects and then lust, where your whole being, where your eye, you could take that, where you could change the lens, the view that you're seeing things, where you won't even view women that's not your wife in a sexual manner like that. You'll view them with some respect, or and look at them as godly, as sisters and daughters of the Lord, and you'll go and try to help them in there instead of trying to just be all lustful over them, because that's your correct state, but you've been put into a fallen sleep state. Again, man, those images that you're looking at, and when some dudes can just masturbate from sheer imagination alone, meaning like remembering the stuff that they, or remembering a woman's image, and that's, bro, you are in strict bondage, and demonic beings have you under their control. Like you like that movie Black Snake Moan? Have you ever saw that with Samuel L. Jackson? You should watch that movie if you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely an adult film. Don't try to say for your kids, but for adults who want to understand how it looks for a woman who's under demonic spirits, because women can be under that too, where a woman, she masturbating, or a woman masturbating every day, she using her roles 24/7. You have stories, if you just, all you got to do is type it into a quick YouTube search. There's women who will tell you and have footage of being sexually attacked by incubus demons while they even sleeping next to their partner. And what do I mean by that? What is an attack by an incubus demon? That's a literal demonic being coming from the realm, wherever the demonic realm is, or, they can come into this realm. Same way angels and stuff. See, angels can have a physical body. God tell you that. It say in the Bible, be careful because you might be entertaining angels. You don't even know it. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't even know. But see, the thing with the demonic realm, you don't have to see them. These are advanced beings. And you have video. You have actual video of this. And it's countless stories of this. See, with guys, they have what's called a succubus demon. But if you ask me, I think that they both are the same. That they intersex beings. That's my opinion on that. But you do have the succubus demons who come to men and actually have relationships with them. They have there's men who have actual relationships with succubus demons. Don't believe me? Look it up. It's not me just talking. And I've had experiences myself with this demon. Like I said, masturbation. I was under the strong bondage of that. I learned about sex early on, like from finding my grandfather's and father's pornos, and finding pornographic magazines, seeing all of the stuff, watching all the movies and stuff that I shouldn't have been seeing. You go over your friend's house, they father got all the stuff just laying out, and they didn't found the tapes. And you just, y'all trading porn tapes and things like this. Basically, y'all collecting women in y'all head. A lot of dudes had a lot of men had a huge porn collection. They were married. So you basically were cheating on your wife with porn. You were cheating on your wife with demons. Yes, you were. Because when you were masturbating, you were having sex with demons in the spiritual realm. You understand? That's how you were able to climax. That's how you were able to do all that. Wasn't nobody else present? Was it a woman present? Oh, woman, when you were doing all that, was it a man present? I'll wait. No, Satan was present. That's what you were doing. You were committing a sin against your own body. You know, and one of those things that it's sad when you learn the truth, man, and you really want to set people free from that, you know. When that's how you can be set free, because you have to even know that the truth or what you're doing, you have to know what you're doing is wrong and why. You understand? God's not just telling you to do stuff because he want to stop you from having a good time, or he wants you to suffer or something like that. Again, we're taught that men have to ejaculate. We taught that men have to release that seed. You just must do that. This was even taught in the medical science. But the truth is that's not the case. The truth is that's a lie. The truth is we've been lied to. Men, once you can retain your semen all your life, if that was the case, you understand, it wouldn't affect you. It wouldn't be like you would just blow up and melt down. Now, the Bible says it's not good for people to be alone, for men to be alone, women to be alone. It's not good. Like, that's why you got women who are nuns. They live for Christ. They're married to Christ. They do that. But even some nuns struggle with that, you know, but they do that. You have monks, you have Christian monks, men who do not ever mess with women at all. Like they constantly being pious and strict for the Lord. The Bible tells you it's better for men not to marry, because you can give your full attention and devotion to God. Other than that, we know when men get with women, then you have to cater to her. You have to. God tells you to do it, and he's fine with that. God's not going to trip on you for doing that. But that's what it's going to do. You're going to have to split time and make time, you know, you have to do that. So God tell you it's better for men not to even get married, but he also tell you not to masturbate. So, you know, why would you set yourself up? Let me just tell you like this. Why, if you was a person who didn't even plan on dealing with women at all, why would you just constantly build up sexual tensions to just masturbate? You know, you kind of teasing yourself. Like, why would you just prepping yourself for nothing? Why would you do that? Because now you caught up in having sex with, it's starting, like, masturbation has gotten good to you now. Now you caught up in having sex with demons. Demons, like, when you look up the sucking, you can look this up again. But I'm going to give you a personal, I'm going to give you some personal testimony here. The succubus demons, they can actually stimulate sexual arousal. They have, again, when I'm saying this stuff, people who are in the spirit realm and like who understand, who have been had a relationship with God for a while, who are mature in the spirit, understand what I'm saying. Even people who you don't have to be Christian. Even people who are just like in the secular realm. Some people who do spirit mediums and not listen. I'm not saying that, you know, what they doing is right, but they understand what I'm talking about. And if you read in the Bible, it tells you that the sons of God, the fallen angels that came down to earth, that fell from heaven to earth, they were having sex. They were literally having sex with women and getting them pregnant. How could they do that? Did they lose that ability? No. You still have, now they may be in the spirit realm, you know, and they may not be as close to this realm as they was, like, because they had to have physical bodies or something. It had to be like, you know, that's one of the peculiar things of the Bible there. But they definitely had to have the ability to be able to produce children, because they did. The women got pregnant. So, like I said, succubus demons can also stimulate male sexual organs. Now, these could be shape-shifting beings. Again, they could be, they could not even have a gender. But when they come to men, they come as female form succubus demons. It's female form of anything that men find attractive. They can take that form, and they stimulate the sexual organ of the male in physical realm. That happens. Now I'll go deeper on that. Because I could go on and on. Like, there's definitely a lot. It's a lot deeper knowledge that this is why God tells you to stay away from these things, because you can really get caught up in this stuff. Like I said, you have some people who are under bondage now from sexual demons, man, from getting caught up in masturbation. Masturbation and porn has ruined marriages. They've ruined the actual institution that God has, in the parameters that God has set for sex. Like, that's where sex is best. Again, you and your wife's body belong to each other. You don't have to worry about it nobody deviating. Y'all two can still look and see people who's attractive. That's fine. But you two can go satisfy your sexual cravings with each other. Nobody, don't matter what, you're not going with, it's within reason you're withhold. Like, if somebody's sick or something, but other than that, you ain't withholding sex. Even if you might not just feel like, who don't feel like having, who don't feel like, get with their partner or something like that. That's something y'all have to address within yourselves. But biblically, you shouldn't be withholding yourself from your partner for too long, because it could cause y'all to sin or be looking and wondering and things like that. God wants to protect you from he wants you to not only enjoy your life with in a godly manner, but he also wants to protect you from just things that can harm you and cause chaos on the earth. If we were just to listen to him and do things his way, then we would have harmony and peace. You wouldn't have nobody, having no sex out of wedlock and people looking all around, marriages falling apart, porn companies making all the money, and for people now you got AI bots coming out. Man, that's preparing dudes. You got dudes who be masturbating to high-tie cartoons. You really having sex with demons at that point. These not even humans. And that's just the next step in Satan's gradual plan. The more and more you have relationships going to the left, women have bought more sex toys than ever. Not only are they using them for themselves, they're using them on each other. They're going to come out with this AI stuff, like where you basically can have an AI avatar in your, projected in your home or something like that, or on your screen, who, when you just type in, basically on the movie Weird Science, you type in what type of woman you like, click, 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 type that in, it pull it up on your computer screen, and dudes get they start getting they towels and that, man, and it's gonna be like that's gonna be like their girlfriend. Well, you know what? That's exactly what the demonic realm wants. Because you gonna be ready and prepared to be having a spirit girlfriend. Because that's it. That's what you already have. You're tied to that spirit. Like when you masturbate and stuff, that's in the spirit realm. You're having sex with demons. That's it. No more, no less. That being said, this is The Awakening. I am Super Solican. Peace and blessings to the hearers and doers of the Lord's word. Anyone who heard this video to the end, you have a special blessing from the Lord. With that being said, I'm gone.